Hello and welcome to Ambi Marie Knits episode 58. My name is Amber. This is a fiber crafty channel. We have knitting, crochet, spinning, and future sewing to talk about today. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Ambi Marie Knits. I also do want to say thank you. It looks like I've got a couple new subscribers this week, so thank you so much for joining. We're gonna jump in. We've got a lot to talk about today. I have four finished objects this week. Kind of excited. So let's get started. We're gonna go with the biggest one. It's done. Well, I need to block it, but the Reydiant shawl. Let me flip it the right way. There we go. This is the Reydiant shawl by Knit Graffiti. That's Leslie Ann Robinson. This is a sample knit for Emily at Fangirl Fibers. I've already woven the ends, but I don't snip them till after I blocked it. So I still have to block this and then get it in the mail to her. But look, okay, I can't really see what I'm doing, but we're gonna try and look at it. So it's the right side. Here's the wrong side. Still beautiful. Colors are Scavenger, something dark side. It's on my project page. Project page will be linked down below. Actually, I think there's a link for kits if she's still doing them as well down below. This thing's gonna grow a lot though. It's brioche, so brioche is squishy. It grows, so I still have to block it. But look at it. I don't style these well. It's so squishy. I love it so much. It's too hot to wear this, but I still like it. So yay, finished it. Just shy of 2 months for me to do it. So many ups and downs on this shawl, like ripping back, fixing things, but I did. Like I fixed it and it is as it should be. It makes me happy. So that is the first finished object. You probably won't see it blocked. Unless you follow me on Instagram, I should be able to put a picture up there once it's blocked, but I'm probably not gonna have it next week. I'm gonna get this mailed out as soon as I can. First finished object. Next one's another big one. That crocheted blanket I was finishing for a friend. That is done. So this is Lion Brand Mandala Baby in the colorway Echo Caves. One of my friends started it. I finished it for her. I'm gonna go deliver it to her this afternoon. By the way, today is Friday, June 21st, and it is 10:40 in the morning. Woohoo. So pattern, it's half double crochets, and then every like fifth row, she did every fifth row. I did it when I thought about it. Crocheted in the back loop just to give it a little bit of texture. My border, I did around a single crochets, and then I just did however many double or half doubles till I made it as big as I was gonna get it. It is almost 36 by 52. I was going for crib sized. So that's this. It's done. I'm happy. This, let's see. The baby this is for is like over a year old now. So she's excited for him to finally get his blanket. So there's that finished object. We're halfway done with them. Next finished object is the socks. Woohoo. Let's see. So this is pair 3 for summer sock camp. Boy, my light's weird. And I know I say this every episode because my light's weird every episode. But there we go. So these are some DK shorties. Colorway is Blue Icing by a girl in her wool who no longer dyes yarn. I have not blocked them yet. You know how you can tell? The white is still white. That's just some bare yarn I had. I cast on 48 stitches on size 3, which is 3.25 millimeter, I do believe. And then I did, I think 15 rows for the cuff, like 10 rows for the leg, because they're shorties. Shadow wrap heel, and then just the normal rest of stuffs. Very happy. This is pair 2. I think I said 3. I have pair 3 cast on, whatever. But I think this is my second pair. So My goal is the summer sock camp. I'm just going to have a pair of socks on my needles at all times. How many will I get done? I don't know. It depends how much knitting I get. I'll be showing you what I've gotten done here in just a moment. But we have one last finished object to talk about. This is one that I just randomly decided on the, I try and write it down, the 17th, that I wanted to make a chicken. I think it's because sometimes I just want to make a chicken. You know, that's how it goes. This one will be a gift for somebody, so it'll actually go out in the mail, hopefully later on today. But there we go. So this chicken is made, let's switch from my leg goes to sleep. This is made in Red Heart stripes. Let me grab it. So this is in Red Heart stripes, Red Heart Super Saver stripes to be technical, in the colorway Fruity Stripe. Good old Joanne clearance. Do you want to note that the smaller ball of this, so this is the, where does it say how many grams? The 5-ounce one is just enough. Like, I had a little bit left over, but it's where you're starting to gusset going is, am I going to make it? You will. I did this on a size 6 needle because I just like how the fabric is. My sewing is terrible. My stuffing is terrible. I don't care. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? You can never look at mine straight on, though, because they always look a little bit fun because my eyes. But she's soft and squishy. This pattern, by the way, is the chicken pattern by Tracy Carrier. It is similar to the emotional support chicken pattern, but the biggest difference is the tail is one piece. Other than that, the pattern's pretty much the same. It has different striping and stuff on it than the emotional support chicken pattern does, but both patterns work. Both make fluffy chickens that you can hold. Okay, enough of holding this chicken. Oh, do want to note actually on it. So with the Red Heart acrylic, it has its place in the world. If you don't like it, that's cool. If you love it, that's even better. But it's definitely not the softest yarn. So when I make these with the acrylic, before I sew it together, I toss it in a lingerie bag and I wash it and dry it. Make sure I use a dryer sheet. So that way it softens it up so it is cuddleable, cuddlier, whatever. Just because it makes it better with it being with the acrylic. If it was wool, obviously I wouldn't do that. My sewing, so like I did mattress stitch there and it's usually okay, but this time I did mattress stitch on the tail and it's awful. So my recommendations if you're making a chicken is to just whip stitch the tail but mattress stitch under here. Okay, that's enough about chickens. That's enough about finished objects. Yay! Okay, next up we're gonna go into whips. First whip we are going to show is that summer sock camp pair number 3. So this is a yarn dyed by me. Pretty sure it is Knit Picks Hawthorne. There we go, the high twist base. But I dyed this and we have almost a sock. Should I have finished this toe? That's almost done before I recorded? Probably, but I didn't. So, cast on 64 stitches, size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles. I like magic loop most of the time. I did 25 rows for the cuff because I miscounted and kept going because I like it to stop at 20, 25, whatnot. Then I did a 30 row. I think I did 30 rows for the leg. These are for my kid. He does not like tall socks. Don't you love the striping? So, pooling. I love how this pooled. I kind of wish it did that the whole way, but I'm not gonna lie, the way that red's wrapping around is kind of cool. Shadow wrap heel. So this sock will be finished today, just so I can say I finished it today, and then I will be casting on the next one, and I might get it done by next week. I might not. I'm not in a rush on my socks. They will get done when they get done. So that's whip 1 to talk about. Whip 2 doesn't have much more progress than it did last week, but it does have some. And I did have to redo the cast on. So this is going to be the Tolsta Tank by, be right there, yarn I am using, Super Glow Fiber, in the colorway Birthday Bash. And Let's show you colors. There, it's pretty pink. I am alternating skeins because, you know, with hand-dyed yarn, it's a good idea. Do you want to note, I made these. Don't look at the seams on the inside, but I made them. They're useful. But okay, this is what we have done. So I decided, since this is a bottom-up tank, to do a provisional cast on. That's what this purple line is. And then I'm going to knit because yarn management, I want to make sure it's the right length for the person it is. What if I run out of yarn? I can always do the ribbing in a different color. Not planning on it, but I want to have options. So hence the provisional cast on. But I did that much. That's it. It's a little bit. My fun, naughty stitch stoppers. So a little bit of cuss words if you're concerned. One of them's upside down, but that's fine. There we go. Still like them. So yeah, this is, you know, mindless. I mean, it's a mess, obviously. I am doing helical knitting on it for my alternating the skeins, and doing it the way Natalie of Knitty Natty does it. So pretty much you knit to your 3 stitches before the next color, drop the current color, slip 3 stitches, and then knit around with a new color to your 3 stitches away, drop the old, slip 3, the new. You don't end up with a jog. Like, there's no jog or anything, and yeah, you chase it all the way around, which can be fun sometimes. It's nifty. But okay, that's so. And bag this is in is from Stitching Plaza. Okay, so that's that whip. The next whip, I mean, I've got the partner pullover, but I haven't touched it yet. I still have to rip out and record me ripping out and fixing those like 40 stitches that those are problems, so I didn't even grab it because it looks the exact same as it did last week. Hopefully next week we'll have some progress on that. So that's it for what I've been working on. Now we're going to move to future project because I have too many options on future projects. First thing we're going to talk about is Stephen West is doing another mystery sock along. I think it starts July 6th or 9th. Maybe the 9th. I don't remember. I might do it. I pulled yarn for it. You need a main skein and 3 contrast skein, or 3 contrast minis. So I have this. This is a skein of sprinkled fibers by Lindsay. Let's see, I do not know the colorway. There's the information. Sorry about the, there we go. The light has this. This was a gift from a friend. It's even got a cool little stitch marker for me to use. And then these are the 2 minis that I was gonna pick with it. So I don't know. I think they look fun. Purple's got some sparkle in it too. I don't know. So last year I did it and I did the cuffs the way we were supposed to and then went on my own after that. And maybe I'll do that this year too. Doesn't matter. As long as I'm having fun, that's all that counts. That's the first future cast on. The next 2, I don't know. So one of my knitting friends was showing us, we're talking about hand spun actually, which we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But the Penta Pillar Te by James and Watts. I really hope I got that middle initial right. It'll be right here below, because I want to make sure credited. Picture as well. It looks really fun. I wanted to do it, and I still might. You guys have been around me long enough. Sometimes I get a really cool idea in my head, and then it fizzles. That's all right. It happens. But it is done in, well, pillars. So you knit 1 block, and then you pick up and you knit another for the front and the back. Add sleeves. I want to do it scrappy. So problem is it calls for sport weight, but the gauge on it is like 18 stitches for 4 inches. I'm not good at gauges, but isn't that more of a worsted? It doesn't matter as long as you like your fabric. That's what matters. Needless to say, I want to use fingering weight with it, and even though I'm a loose knitter, I was not getting the right gauge. So I did some math, and I figured it out. I can still make it. I just have to make like the 3X to get the 1X size. Not a problem. And there's still a good possibility that's going to happen. But the wrench in my plans is, you know what came out today? Woolen Pine's new pattern. Woolen Pine's Seaglass Cardigan. I kind of want to make it. Here's a picture. And the construction is very, very different. There's no purling. Even though it's a colorwork cardigan, there's also no steeking. Now, I admit, I kind of wish it had been a steeked cardigan, because that is something that I'm running out of time this year to do, is I want to steek something this year. But that's okay. The construction on it is really interesting, top-down raglan, but just, it looks fun. So, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. I finished so much stuff this week, so I'm like, oh, I should start something epic, right? But I still have to work on my partner pullover, and like, I don't know. I also have sewing and stuff to do. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to go to spinning next. We're going to keep it fiber related. So that's it. FOs, whips, and potential future whips. We'll see what happens by next week. Spinning. So I did break down and start using my electric wheel 6.1 by Dreaming Robots. I love it. It's great. It's so much bigger than the Nano. The Nano's fun. I like the Nano. The price point is great on it, especially if you're trying to dip your toes in the water. It is great. Still going to use it. But the other one's bigger. And do you want to see what I made? I haven't washed it yet because I'm not good at washing my spinning. But actually, here, let me tie this back up real quick. But look what I made. This is American Rambula by the Fiber Genie in the colorway Gnomes. I had two 50-gram braids of it, and I split them in half, and I spun them. Sorry about the outside noise. There is approximately 156 yards. I'm going to say we average to a bulky weight. I don't think that'd be a super bulky. I think that'd just be a regular bulky. I don't know. But look at it. So, I mean, obviously it's got issues, but I'm getting there. This one, I spun it, the one braid I split into 4, spun that, and then the other ply I split in 2 and spun that. I'm trying to get away from the pre-drafting, but it makes it so much easier. But my goal is a fractal spin, and this is similar but not quite, and I need to be able to spin with a big ol' hunk of fiber as opposed to little bitty pieces. So I'll get there. Practice makes perfect. Actually, speaking of practice, Tour de Fleece starts the 28th, 29th of this month, so actually a week from tomorrow. I think I'm going to be doing that. I'm not quite sure. Bear with me while I do this part. Maybe not smoothly. Of course not. Close enough. It's fine. But I guess I'm going to be partaking in that. So my local yarn store, A Mad Knitter's Yarn, she's going to be doing some kind of little mini event on that day. So I'm going to figure out the cool thing about the e-spinners is they're portable. I got to figure out a battery pack situation. She said she's got to plug in an extension cord, but I think it'd be safer if I just had a battery pack. So I'm going to be doing something with that. I just don't know what. I do have more fiber coming in sometime next week. Also, speaking of fiber, I got some. So, I got some fiber from Mad Knitter Yarn, and check this out. So, this is Storyteller Stitchery, colorway name, Alice's Adventures. It's a 19.5 merino, 19.5 micron merino. So you've got the staple length, 4 ounces. And let me see if I can get the whole thing. This is what it is. Of course, it's blowing out a little bit because that's what happens in my lighting. But isn't it pretty? And it's really soft. I think I did a little tiny bit of merino, but I've not done a lot of merino yet. So, I know it's supposed to be slipperier, but we'll see. So I've got this. We'll see when I start it, because I've also got like this one. I think this is one that has the bamboo in it. I think this is bamboo and merino. And then I've got this one, which is BFL and Silk. Really want to try these fibers out, but that's okay. Put this back up there. So, exciting. Very exciting. Okay, that's all the fiber related stuff. Now we are going to go into a little bit of sewing. So I don't have it over here, but I did finally get the batting and what I'm going to use for the backing for that quilt. So at some point I'm going to do that. Theoretically, this would be a great weekend because I have a 3-day weekend and I'll be back till Monday. But I want to make bags. Specifically, I went to Joann for something completely different. Look what I got. Look at this fabric. It's never too early for spooky season, right? So I want a bag out of this fabric. And if I'm gonna make myself a bag, I might as well make bags for everybody else as well. So stay tuned. Hopefully by next weekend, I'll have a shop update. No promises though. But there's that. And let's see. That's everything for the sewing. Okay, that's all the crafty stuff. Now we've got books and garden, and we'll be good. So now we have reading, watching, that's strange, and garden. Sorry, my legs are falling asleep. I'm sitting longer than I normally am. So, as far as books go, I finished the Other Realm series by Heather G. Harris. It was good. I liked it. And quite frankly, I liked, not because her name's the same as mine, but I did like the last series, The Other Witch, probably the best. The others were not bad. It just, that one was the most interesting to me. So that was pretty cool. But I finished that series. I started reading again and finished this morning, actually, back on my Mercedes Lackey kick. Mercedes Lackey Anything with Nothing. It's like an anthology series. I started a while back and my loan expired because I wasn't keeping up with it, and I got it back and was able to finish it this morning. So I finished that. I'm still listening to Dead Witch Walking by Kim Harrison. I'm so close to done. I think I listened to it this morning a little bit, so I've got maybe like 30 minutes left. I will finish it today just to say it's done. And then I also started rereading the last Harold Mage trilogy by Mercedes Lackey. This book is one of those series that I will reread probably once every other year. Maybe, I wouldn't say as much as once a year, but every year I'm rereading something out of this series. But this is not the first book in the Heralds of Valdemar series, but it is the first one I ever read back in high school. And I love them. This is what got me hooked on this author. The first book's name is Magic's Pawn. And they're just good. I just like that fantasy realm. I don't know. It makes me happy. So, been reading that. And then the garden, lastly. I will, of course, put my video at the end. Tomatoes are struggling. They're still alive. They've got some blooms on them, so I should get something out of them. But tomatoes are struggling. Peppers, they're okay. They've got flowers on them. I've got one decent-sized bell pepper, but it's a red pepper, so I've got to wait for it to turn red before I can eat it. And my cucumber, though. My cucumber's going crazy. Like, there's so many blooms, it's exploding, and is it just me, or is it a little bit weird how the cucumbers have little tendrils and they attach to everything? I don't know. It's cool, but it's kind of creepy at the same time. With that being said, I'm expecting to get a lot of cucumbers this year, so that'll be okay. Okay, there was a lot today. I noticed I've been having more and more in my episodes, which is not a bad thing. So if you've stuck around to the end of this, thank you. I do appreciate you. Please be more than welcome to like, subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching it, please subscribe. See what I've got coming up next week. But comment, what's your favorite thing to do with cucumbers? How do you eat your cucumbers? Quite frankly, I like to grow vegetables more than I like to eat what I'm growing, but I'm still going to. So I'm a fine diced on a salad or salt and ranch. I'm not a big ranch person, but I do like it with my cucumbers. But please comment below and just tell me what's your favorite way to eat, not just cucumbers, whatever you've grown in a garden, like your favorite fresh vegetables, tomatoes, peppers, whatever you want, just comment below. But that is it for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.